A doomed economy as landlords offer rent concessions, unemployment trends up, and travel plummets. You know the economy is changing when landlords start doing things to incentivize people to rent at their properties. The only question is, when is the economy going to unravel? Today, I read an article on CNN Business written by Matt Egan titled, "Free Rent and Parking. Landlords are throwing in sweeteners." According to the author, apartment units are staying on the market longer, vacancy rates are rising, and rental growth is slowing. Landlords are being forced to offer sweeteners like free parking and free weeks of rent to get tenants to sign on the dotted line. The share of rental listings on Zillow offering a concession as an incentive to rent climbed to 33.3% in July. This is up from 25.4% from a year earlier. Well, my friends, how the tides have changed. There was a time when apartment operators told people to get on a wait list. I talked to an apartment operator once who told me they require prospective tenants to put down a large non-refundable deposit to get on the wait list. The market rent adjusts constantly. If you reach the top of the wait list and it is time to sign your lease, you have to pay whatever the market rate is at that time, or you lose your entire deposit. So basically, people are at the mercy of whatever the market rate is in the future, which is set by a proprietary algorithm that isn't transparent. The fact that they had a wait list tells you there were plenty of people desperate to rent. Now landlords are being forced to be more realistic. If I were a prospective renter, a couple of free weeks of rent wouldn't incentivize me much if the rent price was still too high. Free parking wouldn't incentivize me either. Landlords should all provide free parking. In my opinion, city code in all areas of the United States should require landlords to have one parking space for every adult occupant and provide that parking to the tenants at no cost. Getting back to the article, the author referenced a senior economist at Zillow who said landlords are basically in a race to get tenants, so they're throwing in a bunch of deals and perks to sweeten the pot. Here are my thoughts. Unemployment is trending up. If it continues climbing, some landlords may see more vacancies than they could have ever imagined. It seems like every new apartment complex is branded as being luxury, even though they have some of the cheapest trendy building materials on the market. I think more and more Americans are going to have a hard time paying the rent at these luxury apartment complexes. Wages are not keeping pace with rent increases in many cases, and in the long term, this could pose a real problem. But that's just my opinion. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. There may soon be Americans who can't afford any type of apartment. I read an article on CNN Business written by Alicia Wallace titled, "More and More Americans Are Worried They Will Lose Their Job." The author of this article referenced the Federal Reserve Bank of New York's latest survey on consumers' labor market experiences and expectations, which revealed that job wage and benefit satisfaction all sank in July. The survey showed fewer people were employed and a record share of people were looking for jobs. The average expected likelihood of becoming unemployed rose to 4.4%, which was the highest on record for the survey, which was started 10 years ago. Here are my thoughts. This is not good news. If we are hearing about people getting jittery about losing their job right now when the economy is supposedly booming and the stock market is near all-time highs, what in the world might we see if and when we enter an ugly recession or see a meaningful correction or crash in the stock market? I think we could potentially see unemployment go to the moon at some point. The government would likely have their hands full trying to paint a rosy picture about it. Even though job, wage, and benefit satisfaction all sank in July, according to this survey, people appear to just be dealing with it. I'm sure some know they stand a little chance of finding a similar paying job. A lot of companies are laying off right now. Some people may be fortunate just to have a job right now. Others may be losing sleep at night, wondering if this Friday will be their last day, since a lot of companies let people go right before the weekend. Here's another sign flashing red about the economy. I read this on foxbusiness.com, written by Daniela Genovese, titled, U.S. Vacationers Are Pulling Back. The author of this article referenced the CEO of Hilton, who talked about consumers and their COVID money. He said they've spent all that money. Now they're borrowing more. And so they have less available, less disposable income and capacity to do anything, including travel. The author also referenced a shareholder letter from Airbnb that said they were seeing shorter booking lead times globally and some signs of slowing demand from U.S. guests. Well, my friends, this provides us with some insight into what is happening with the real economy in America. While you may still see people traveling and enjoying themselves on vacation, ask yourself, how many people are doing that with money they have versus how many are doing that with credit cards? How many will find themselves in serious financial trouble in the near future, since that debt is going to be very expensive to deal with in a higher interest rate environment? How many of those people are hood rich, like Birdman and Manny Fresh, with a quarter tank of gas in their new E-Class Mercedes because they can't afford the S-Class? In fact, they couldn't even afford a full tank of gas. Some people may not even be able to afford the plates for their cars next year. I'm sure some may be delinquent on their car loans right now and doing their best to avoid the repo man. Good luck, since these modern cars can be easily found with all of the electronics in them. I think people need to think twice before traveling. Who knows what the future holds for this economy? It could blow over like a house of cards, and some people will wish they held on to their money. Life gets real when paychecks stop coming in and credit dries up. Some young people have never experienced either. I think there will be a lot of people who are in for a rude awakening in the future. But what do I know? I'm just some guy on YouTube. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, consider subscribing to the channel. I want to thank everyone who has subscribed to the channel. I want to also thank all of my channel members. If you would like to become a channel member, there is a link in the description beneath this video. You can read more about the different membership levels. Please also check out some of the great books that I suggest you consider reading in the description below. I've included Amazon affiliate links to these books. As an Amazon associate, I earn from qualifying purchases. Stay healthy and wealthy. I'll see everyone in the next video.